Going on, Falcon fans? This is your boy Recondo coming back at you with another video. Today, talk about my keys to victory against the Los Angeles Rams at 4:05 on Sunday. So, guys, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys like to hear what I talk about. Then please share my video out to the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So, quick injury update today. Damian Williams did not participate in practice today. We do know that he actually came back out today. Came back out to the game. He was the ribs. He went to the locker room, came back out, and did finish the game. But he did not practice today, so it's gonna be interesting to see um, Damon Williams' status. The rest of the week and into the game on Sunday. Hopefully, they actually get Tyler Algier some run, man, because if they can run physical with CP, just imagine how physically they can run with both of those backs in the backfield. Um, that kind of style of punishing defensive backs the way Cordell Patterson was punishing backs. We can get Tyler Algier in to do that as well. That would be awesome. What's going on, Wallace? What's going on, James? But so we can get both of those guys to come in, and bring in Tyler Algier, stop having him inactive in the game. Um, because I know most of us was excited to see what he was going to be able to do, and he didn't even get a chance to get on the field. So guys, anyway, you know how I do it. When I go my keys, I go offense, I go defense, and then I go special teams. Um, I put a lot of keys in because what I want to see based off the things that I saw on in Sunday's game, things that was good, things that was bad. So these are some of the keys I want to see from this game, like I said, because each week we should be getting better. Hopefully, that's the whole idea. Win or lose, at some point in time, you want to see the improvements from the team. Each NFL team has a thing that they're going to be able to do, but we got to be able to see certain things like that. James says the first mistakes first that was the first mistake by coaching. Yes, that I 100% agree. Like I said, I really don't understand that was one of the bads I had for on Monday when I talked about the bad was not the inactives, how they kind of came up with the 48 man roster, for game day because and they had four tight ends. They didn't use Felipe Franks. Um, they had all the receivers in. They didn't use Jared Barnhart at all. So I mean, I can understand the receiver point because the other receivers was playing well. But at the same time, if you're not going to use Tyler Algier, one of your rookies, who I think he can have an impact on this game, in this season. So I think that was not a good idea by them not to have him in the game. Wallace said, "I don't think Williams is going to play on Sunday, and that will. I mean, if he's not 100%, he shouldn't play. I think we'll be okay. Just like you said, we can definitely pound two backs back there. So that's what I want to see anyway. Hopefully, Tyler Algier. Even if William does play, I still want to see Tyler Algier out there. And then, like James said, he has to play. I agree 100%. Um, just imagine how hard CP was running the ball and Tyler Algier is just a little bit bigger than him. I mean, he was pounding those guys. I mean, and let's not forget, no, it was college and everything, but Tyler Algier led the lead the college last year in broken tackles. So that man is a beast as well. And we want to see that physicality. That offensive line, that running game was something special to see. Which brings me into my first key to the offense, and that is to continue to run the ball. They have to. They have to continue to run the ball. That was one of the bright spots of this game. Like I said, I don't care what happened with the outcome and things like that, but I can tell you this: those defensive backs, they didn't like the fact that they was getting bullied around that defensive backfield because Tyler Algier was, I mean, not Tyler. See how I want Tyler Algier to actually get in the game. Cordell Patterson was actually pounding those guys. He was putting it on them. So that's my first key: run the ball, pound those guys. I think one of the actual weakness to slowing down a guy like Aaron Donald is to run the ball because he gets up the field so fast. So if you can run right off his backside of something like that, pull him, let him come up the field, and just run right in that hole. That's one of the things we can do because he's coming. He's coming. We all know he's trying to get up the field as fast as he can. As lethal with his can, all those things that he's trying to do. So if we could use his force and his his ability to try to get up the field against him and just run run right off him. That's something we could do. We have to run the ball. We need to be physical. Um, Wallace said, I don't think so because we didn't know Williams was going to get hurt. That made the decision on which players to be inactive. Yeah, I mean, I understand. I understand his reasoning, but at the same time, I think they could have looked somewhere. I get it. He had three running backs already up, if you include Avery Williams. But like I said, in my opinion, he's a weapon we could utilize because he's more like a pounder like Cordell Patterson. And if you don't want to wear Cordell Patterson out, I would like to see a guy like Tyler Algier. And that's just me. Of course, he's going to mix and match all season long. But I agree with you. I don't think Damon Williams going to actually play this Sunday. So I think we'll get a first crack at to see what Tyler Algier looks like. All right, guys, that's my first key. Is like I said, run the ball. My second key, and I don't even think I can't believe I have to say this, but I know you guys feel the same way. Get Kyle Pitts, and you got to get Brian Edwards the ball. These guys got to get in the game. I know Kyle Pitts got targeted 7 times, but Kyle Pitts is one of the best weapons on this team. I thought they did not exploit that enough in that Inks game. They did not exploit it enough. He's a mismatch. Even if you just take shots down the field with Kyle Pitts, I think you have to do that. I know the game plan was going. He said Kyle Pitts blocked well and things like that. I'm tracking out, but he wasn't. Let's be honest. Kyle Pitts was not brought here to block. He's an explosive weapon. They have to be able to utilize him better. One game, I'm not panicking too much, but they have to be able to get Kyle Pitts the ball. And then Brian Edwards, no receptions at all. That had to be fixed if he's going to be that second receiver. I think really right now it's Alameda Kids anyway. But if Brian Edwards is going to have an impact on this game, he got to have more than 0 catches in the game. So those are two guys. My second key, we have to be able to get Kyle Pitts and Brian Edwards involved. That's just more things that the Rams will have to think about. You got make sure these guys is in the game plan because now they're worried about Cordell Patterson. They're worried about Marcus Mariota. They're worried about Kyle Pitts, Brian Edwards, Lumberdays Kids, Avery Williams out the backfield, our other tight ends, Parker Hesse, Anthony Fresco, who was just brought up to the active roster. All these guys and the multiple packages that Arthur Smith is able to utilize with all these different weapons, you have to be able to take advantage of that with one of your main offensive weapons, and that's Kyle Pitts. So, like I said, I can't believe I have to say that, but Kyle Pitts has definitely got to be involved in the game. That's my second key. And then the third key, I think it's simple. We can't let Aaron Donald wreck the game. All right, like I said, we know he want to get up the field. He want to try to wreak havoc and things like that. That means we have to make sure we move Mariota in the pocket. Don't let him be in the statue standing there in that pocket like that. Um, if all possible, do not let Aaron Donald go 1-on-1 because I can definitely see that could be a mistake if he decide to go 1-on-1. So definitely one of the things I hope not the case. Because I think in that Buffalo game, you watched it. Every time he was on 1-on-1, he was able to get pressure and on Josh Allen. So that's one thing we don't want to see against Marcus Mariota. I think they will ramp up the offense going forward because this was the first game, and they will have to get better game plan on Sunday. Yes, I mean I agree. Like I said, I'm not really that worried about the targets against Kyle Pitts and how they utilized him because I was impressed about the game plan and how the game was called. But like I said, I mean at least 3 or 4 times a game, um, take a shot with Kyle Pitts down the field. I mean that I just I mean I would just do that. I mean definitely if I'm playing Madden, that's one of the things I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a shot with Kyle Pitts down the field. I know it's not Madden, but at the same time, he's that kind of guy, that weapon that you want to be able to try to just have that in the defense mind that this guy is explosive, and we want to try to take him out, and that could open up a lot of things for a lot of more guys. What's going up, Bruce? James said yes, he has to be like no doubt if he's running for his life because they can't stop Aaron Donald on the inside coming up. I mean, that's the that's the one thing about why Aaron Donald is such a problem because he plays inside, and that's the fastest, you know, path to get to the quarterback is coming right up the middle. So, and like we know how explosive Aaron Donald is, so we're not going to even try to sugarcoat that. Like I said, try not to single him up 1-on-ones. If you do, like I said, utilize his aggression against him because he's coming up the field. We know that, but we can try to utilize that and kind of, like I said, run it right off and run a play right, right off from what he when he's trying to get up the field so fast. Um, I don't think they have another top defensive player on their defensive line that would have the. I agree. That's why I said don't let him break the game. Wallace, you're 100% correct. They don't have. I mean, when I think about the Rams defense, which is why why I think that the Falcons definitely have a chance to be competing this game, is the fact it's Bobby Wagner, Jalen Ramsey, who he kind of got lit up a little bit this about by Diggs this week, and then Aaron Donald. Those are three guys, only three guys I got about. I mean, I know they had Leonard Floyd, but I'm not really too much concerned about him. Um, so other than Aaron Donald, Wagner, and Ramsey, um, I'm not really that impressed with their defense. And then I'm just going to be honest. Raheem Morris is their defensive coach. So I mean, I know he's going to play a little bit of that Tampa 2, and then probably gonna mix in. He was Dan Quinn a while as well, so they probably mix in a little of that cover 3 kind of defense, a mixture of both. How he's going to play the game, so um, it's nothing that our offense have not seen before. Definitely, that defensive style is one of those traditional defensive styles that we see all the time in the league. So many teams run it, so whatever he can dial up, like I said, we just can't let one player wreck the game. A guy like Aaron Donald. So what we got here? Bruce said, "Yes, we need those TDs Sunday." Yeah, that's one of my keys. Actually, that's my last key to victory, and I'll go ahead and talk about that now. Bruce, thanks for that. Um, one of my keys was we had to for first of all the red zone. Of course, we was 2 for 4 in the red zone. If we take away the false start, and then we take away the fumble. I think we might score touchdowns on both of those drives, and that makes us 4 for 4 in the red zone. We wouldn't even be talking about a loss, right? If we would make that happen. So that goes without saying. Also, one of the big things is we have to not turn over the ball, right? We have to limit turnovers. We already, like I said, these common sense keys, but you have to have that in your mindset because knowing that probably what lost us the game last week with turnovers. We was plus. -1 in turnovers in last week game, and most of the times, if you minus, you're probably going to end up could lose the game. So, and I think that really what happens to us. So, if we able to limit turnovers or don't have any turnovers at all, right? Um, that's what we're going to do. And then the last key, um, I think we need to make sure we stay balanced. Make sure, like I said, we need to run the ball, but we need to make sure we passing that ball as well. Mark Smart had 215 yards passing. Hopefully, he could keep that balance. 215-yard passing, 201-yard rushing. That's balance all the way around. So we need to continue to stay balanced on offense. And if we can do that on offense, I think we can get around some issues and some problems. Yep. Yeah, I mean, if you watch the Buffalo game, because I did watch that game, Josh Allen was getting that ball out of his hand real fast. You're correct. I think it was like every 3 seconds he was getting rid of the ball. Um, Believe it or not, I know Josh Allen runs the ball, but I think Marcus Mariota is a little bit more mobile than him, so he might have a little bit more time if he's moving that. Like I said, I think we should make sure we just move the pocket a little bit. If we do that, I think it'll help us out. So um, that's one of the things definitely we got to be able to do. A quick passing game, like I said, quick strikes. I like the way they was throwing some of those quick strings. Um, we got to be able to mix in some screenplays. I don't know if we have any screenplays actually through out in that game, but screenplays, quick screens, because like you said, they want to get up the field on their pass rush. So we have to look at that. Um, I just said it. James, man, you thinking just alike, man. I just said about the screen, you said the same thing. And you're right, they can scheme pits open 100%. But like I said, for me, um, I just take a couple shots with him too. You have to. That guy, he's 1-on-1. And like I said, if they decide to play him 1-on-1, you definitely want to take a shot. They decide to bracket him, like I said, there's other guys going to be open. What we got here? Well, actually Donald did have 1 sack. He did get 1 sack last week, and that was the one time they left him. They left him 1-on-1. So he was able to get 1 sack last week against Allen, but it was the one time he got single 1-on-1, and that's what I mean. So um, don't we don't do that. I mean, we can learn from that. I know Chris Lindstrom is a good guard. Elijah Wilkinson played well as well, but those guys, man, don't do that to them. And definitely Drew Dalman right up the middle, right? Um, those guys don't let him wreck the game. What we got here? Yep, they have to limit the mistakes. Um, the pre-snap penalties, guys, that's real easy to fix, right? Just take your time, don't jump off sides and stuff like that. The physical penalties, you can live with some of those, like the holding and stuff like that, but not in crucial moments. Crucial moments, which really kill you when you driving the ball down the field and if you getting 1st and 20 and things like that. That kills a drive right out the bat if you get one of those penalties. So try to limit those. And then what I really think about fumbles and things like that, um, I don't get too mad about guys being aggressive. Like for me, like I said in last week, um, about last week game, I wasn't too upset that Marcus Mariota fumbled that ball. Of course, it sucked, but man, I like his mindset to be aggressive. And he said today that he's going to keep playing the way he play. He has to play smart and slide, but if you're thinking about things like that because it's not natural to him. I mean, let's just be honest. Like I said, there's some guys that they just play football. I mean, they don't care. They just go out and play and thinking too much. Trying not to take a hit and things like that. Other things happen. So hopefully he could learn and try to make sure he keeps himself out of harm and protect the football more. But I mean, he just have to just let him play, guys. That's what I like about it. Just let him play because I think that's his game. Yep. That turnover, that fumble, it took at least 3 points off the board. Right. That's what have won us the game. So that's 100%. Um, we'll see, man. He had a pretty bad game on Thursday. Um, I think he's gonna try to limit his mistakes. He did lead the lead in turnovers last year, interceptions, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So he'll definitely give you some. One thing, he keep forcing Cooper Cup the ball, which sucks for me because Allen Robinson is on my fantasy team. So I don't like that the fact that he didn't target Allen Robinson but one time in that game. Bruce said depends on Stafford shows up. He can be streaky passer. Yes, he definitely can be very streaky. Like I said, but if he's gonna just look at one direction and just look for Cooper Cup, that easy to guard, guys. So hopefully he get tunnel vision again and just look for Cup to be open, and then we can kind of key in on where he's going with the ball. But he definitely streaky, real streaky. I hope so. I hope James. I hope we get picks and sacks to continue the pressure. I mean, I guys think about it. We got 16 games left. We had 18 sacks all last season. We already got four. We already got four sacks. I mean, we are that's already a win. I mean, we got a loss in the win loss column, but having four sacks in one game is a win for this defense already. It already shows you the the potential and how much better they could potentially be this year from that standpoint, creating pressure. So that's a real good sign for these guys. So I like that. And he said, "How do we guard Cup? You just have to limit him, man. That guy, you right? He's a monster. Cooper Cup is probably one of the best receivers in the game. He definitely know how to get open, especially in the slot because he always have those choice routes, to find the open zones and things like that. Him and Matthew Stafford have great chemistry, so they kind of read each other, and so it's really definitely going to be hard to limit Cooper Cup. But like I said, if Matthew Stafford start to get tunnel vision like he did in Thursday night game, I think that's definitely going to help us. All right, guy, real quick, let's go to the defense. The first key I got on defense is um I want us to run the ball, but I want us on defense to stop the run. Um Sean McVay, his definitely his offense is kind of similar to what Arthur Smith like to do. He want to get that running game going. That's really what he want to do, and he loves to do a lot of motions to try to do mixed directions with this with his scheme. So it kind of look a little similar to what we do with Atlanta, right? We keep moving motions, stuff like that. It almost look like they're gonna run a jet sweep every play. But like I said, you you have to key that guy in, that receiver going across, doing that sweep because what that do, they have somebody to always thinking about. Maybe this time they might hand the ball off, right? So it's like every time um he calls a play, that receiver is probably going to run back on the backside, but he's trying to start, get that running game going. Um, we saw they didn't have Eckler at much. He didn't play well, so they took him out and they put other running back in. We definitely a bigger back that likes to be physical, so we have to be able to continue to stop the run. I thought we did a great job last week. If you take away that one big run by freaking Taysom Hill. You can look at the average. That kind of skewed the numbers of how many rushing yards we gave up because that was one big play. But other than that, I thought we limited them on their runs, and we kind of made them one dimensional, and that's how we was able to get up after Jameis Winston. So we can kind of do something similar to that. Um, that's definitely going to help us out. So my first key on defense is stop the run, and I think we'll be good. Yep, we got to pressure the quarterback. 100%. If we can pressure the quarterback, um, we can kind of limit the passes to Cup. Yes, I know Stafford will have a turnover because he do take chances. Yeah, because he got a strong arm. Um, I mean, he won the Super Bowl. That one play he threw in the Super Bowl, that no look to Cooper Cup was amazing. But I mean, even though he's a former Georgia Bulldog, I never really been that impressed with Matthew Stafford. But he is streaky, like somebody said earlier. He can definitely get hot. We seen that with James Winston in the fourth quarter, so we have to put our guards up on that. But um, definitely something we have to look out for. Um, yep, pass rush, pass rush. I like that, Bruce. Man, I think we got to get D'Angelo Malone to get him some opportunities as well. Like I said, like he never got in, and then why we didn't put and I understand why. I understand. Let me take it back. I do understand why Troy Anderson didn't play, but I would have loved to see Troy Anderson get in and blitz. I would love to see like I think Dean P said it. That you put a guy in and he might not know anything. One thing he do know, he can blitz because that's all he got to do. Get upfield and get off the quarterback. That guy on blitz is full speed downhill. I definitely would love to see Troy Anderson get in and do some blitz. So um definitely pressure, pressure, pressure. That's correct. Um yeah, man. Like I said, like they got to come up with a number of defense alignments they're gonna have, number of tight ends, number of receivers, et cetera, et cetera. So we understand the 48 man, game day roster, but I mean, some of these guys, I mean, they had Quentin Bell in instead of D'Angelo Malone. So we have to see maybe it'll be vice versa this week and put D'Angelo Malone in, Quentin Bell. Some of these guys play on special teams. That's going to factor in a lot. But I think D'Angelo Malone, I think Tyler Algier, both of those guys can play on special teams. So we definitely can see. Yeah, that stadium is awesome, man. It really is. That stadium the Rams play in, and the Chargers. Don't forget about the Chargers. But um, it's two LA teams, man. LA can have so many fan bases. But the Chargers right now it's probably more of a Rams town than the Chargers town to the Chargers be able to do something. I think they probably should have stayed in San Diego. Um, what's going on, MacTown Dirty? What's going on, man? So my second key on defense, we talked about running to stop the ball. Um, we already talked about my second keys, getting after Stafford. I think more we pressure him, the more he'll be prone to make those mistakes. The more they be prone to get out of rhythm, like we had James Winston for 3.5 quarters. So pressuring the quarterback is definitely he's not as mobile, he's not as elusive, not even as James Winston. So he's going to be there in that pocket, so we can actually put pressure on him. One thing that impressed me about the Buffalo Bills, what they was able to do against the Rams, they was able to get home with their front four. Now I don't know if we're going to be able to do that, but if we are able to do that without sending a lot of pressures, that would definitely help us. When a guy like Cooper Cup and things like that. So that's going to be interesting to see, but the Bills able to get home with 4, but we need to make sure we put pressure on a guy like Matthew Stafford. Yeah, gotcha. It's their stadium. They the champs. You ain't got no arguments with me, man. I think the Chargers more like the Clippers in LA. So yeah, I never been. I never seen it. I only seen it on TV. So definitely can see can I get out there to actually go to one of those games to that stadium. But it looked like um a good stadium to go to. Also, I would love to go to see to that the stadium in Vegas as well. Um, I went out there when they was building that stadium, but I never got a chance to see it finished. So that would be something awesome to see as well. That the stadium in Vegas. Okay, so stopping Matthew Stafford, always the key, always the key in my book on defense. No big plays. Big plays, especially on the road, is for momentum. Create momentum for the other team. You always want to have them drive the ball, drive the distance, because they more prone to make mistakes, right? Um, if you can go 3 and out, that's probably the best way to try to look at it. Sometimes longer drives do get teams in rhythm. I kind of like the way we do long drives because you had a defense out there a long time, but I still want to limit big plays. Try to get no big play, give up no big plays this week against the Rams. Um, don't let them beat us with that big plays and things like that. Make sure we stay over top. Don't make miss tackles and things like that. So we able to do that. That's definitely going to help us out. We said one thing that was impressive about our defense was seeing the DBs in the passing windows. Last year, wide receivers wide open. Yeah, man. Like I said, I was really impressed with our defense. And guys, I know I came in here on Sunday and I said it looked like they actually took their foot off the gas in it in the fourth quarter. But according to the team, um, they did not. I think it was. They said it was the pace by the Saints that they picked their pace, and our blitzings we stopped getting home. So that's what they said. And then if you're looking at the game, guys, just go back and look at some of those passes that were made by Jameis Winston. There was some great passes. Um, I think he had got in rhythm. I think that first drive that he had in the fourth quarter when they went right down the field, we had most of our backup D linemen in the game kind of hurt us. So, um, but I love the way we played. I love the way our DBs was aggressive, attacking the ball, all those things. Um, if we can build off that, like I said, that game is in the past. We don't need to look back in anything like that, but we can definitely build off some of the things that we made that we was able to do well, and we could look at that and say we can grow off that for this week. Definitely gonna look at the mistakes and seeing how you can kind of eliminate some of those. Let's be honest, the Aints receiving core is one of the better receiving cores that we're gonna face this year. From a standpoint from talent. Um, I know I climb Micah Thomas, but the guy is a catching machine. I still think he's more like a tight end than a receiver. But he can catch. I mean, the guy had almost 140 catches, or he did have 140 catches in the season. Jarvis Landry, we know that that guy is standing. Um, so, like I said, they have a good receiving core. They just they just made more plays than us in that fourth quarter. But we don't want to. We're going to stop looking back on that and move on. Why they say it's the Ram and Charger Stadium? Technically, yes. Technically, yes. But to to Bruce's point, it's the champs. until somebody dethrone the champs. It's their stadium. So we got Falcons go. Keep up the good work, Recondo. Hey, appreciate it, man. But at this point, cause see personally, guys, I picked us to lose this game because I thought we was gonna beat the Saints. So I'm not going to change my prediction, right? I'm gonna say we're gonna play well, but deep down inside, I feel like we're gonna win. But I'm gonna keep my same prediction for this game. We'll see what happens. I really be honest with you personally, I think we're better than the Rams. Based off what I seen from the first two games. So from their game and from our game, I feel like the Falcons are a better team than those guys. I mean, just honestly, that's what I feel like. I think somebody said earlier they only got three good defensive players on the team that we need to really be really worried about that could wreck the game. Bobby Wagner getting up, up in age a little bit. Jalen Ramsey more and more look like he be taking too many chances, be getting burnt. So I mean, only person that really scares me on this Rams defense is Aaron Donald. I mean, that's just being honest. So um I picked these guys. I picked our Falcons to not win. That was before the season started. But looking at the games, um, I like our team right now more. Even though we took the L, we couldn't finish the game, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. But at the same time, um, just looking at the two games, um, I think we played a whole lot better game than the Rams did, and I don't see what they could do. If he's going to force feed Cooper Cup, Cooper Cup had a great game. He's going to force feed him. We can start the run, and we can limit Aaron Donald. I think we got a chance in this game. So, and then guys, my last 2 points keys for the defense: create turnovers. I think a lot of you already said that Matthew Stafford's going to give us one. Hopefully he do. Hopefully we get some fumbles as well. If we can do that, let's see what happens. So, and then the last thing is our secondary. I think somebody mentioned about our secondary. Secondary definitely got to continue to grow, get better. Um, those guys played well. I love those two young safeties. They're both physical safeties. They like to hit. What you want to see out both of your safeties. They come down and hit in the run game. They physical on the outside. They play great coverage in the flats against the backs as well. So I like everything we've seen. Everybody talk about AJ Terrell, but if you look at those two touchdowns uh, that Michael Thomas caught on AJ Terrell, he was in position. It was great throws, great catch by the other team. So we have to, like I said, tip my hat off to those guys. But I'm really not worried about AJ Terrell. So I think he's gonna have a bounce back game. And the same people can say the same thing about Jalen Ramsey, right? Because um, and he said it himself. He know he didn't play well, so he can definitely have a bounce back game anyway. Um, so we'll just have to see how this game shapes out. Rams are trash. Hope so, especially in week 2 against the Atlanta Falcons. Who that all day? Are you a Saints or Aints fan? I guess so. You're an Aints fan on my channel. All right, guys. Special teams. The last key is our special teams. Once again, everybody disregard special teams because they think it does not matter. It does matter. If you look at a block field goal, didn't even have opportunity for Koo to even try to make that long field goal, which would have been a long shot anyway. But he definitely tried to make it. Good play by the Aints blocking the game. At that point, we didn't deserve to win anyway. We gave it away. So, Sky, you got us, man. Y'all won. We get y'all back though. Get y'all back. Let's see who had a better record at the end of the season. That's all we can say. So you got us one. It's over. Congrats. Have your bragging rights until the end of the season when we beat y'all in y'all stadium. So, but for special teams, my first key is cool. Keep doing what you're doing. You made a couple 50-yard field goals. Of course, we want to be able to score touchdowns in those scenarios and situations. But he was able to actually kick field goals and make those long field goals, which definitely you want to put points on the board either way. So keep my first key on a special team is cool. Keep doing what you're doing. Wallace said here, I didn't pick us to lose after the way they played last week, which gives us a chance to win because I think the pressure is on them to win. Oh yeah, we put like okay, let's get this out right now, right? Let's get this out right now. So I want all the Falcon fans, what Wallace just said, we have nothing to lose. Let's just go on and put it out there. Nobody picked the Falcons to do anything this year. So we don't want anybody who did not believe in this team to start to believe in us now. So if you didn't believe in us when the season started, don't believe in us now. So when they do their picks, the national media, all you guys do your picks. Don't pick the Falcons because you didn't believe in the Falcons. You don't know who on the team. You don't know the roster. We're going 2-15. So the Falcons have nothing to lose. The Super Bowl champs should win this game. That's what they say, right? So we we don't have nothing to lose. We go out there and just put it all out there and play our game and let the chips fall where they lay. That's what we're gonna do. We actually gonna go out and do everything. So like Wallace said, all the pressure is on those guys. They're at home. They played like crap on Thursday night opening game. They playing the lowly Atlanta Falcons, who all they do is blow games. All the pressure is on them. So we just need to come out and do what we do. So I agree 100%. We're gonna do better than the Bucks and the Aints. So that's all you need to know, Sky. We're gonna do better than both of y'all. That's right. We're gonna see them again, 100%. Yeah, man. You know what? I cannot argue with this statement. My James, he think Matt an opportunity to throw the ball. I mean, let's this. He's not a precision passer like Matty Ice is. 100%. That is not what he does well. But that's why if Arthur Smith, does how he's supposed to with Marcus Mariota, he has to make sure that he plays to his strengths. So I mean, 215 yards is adequate. I mean, if he probably could have wanted some throws back in that game. So I think he was off target a couple times to Kyle Pitts and things like that. But he's not going to be that precision passer like a Matty Ice, right? That's not who he is. Um, we don't want him to be that guy because that's not his game. We want him to be able to utilize him like they utilized him in this game. He definitely got to do more in the passing game. I agree with you 100%. I think he is capable of passing, but you have to do it in his way, his style, movement in the pocket, bootlegs, things like that. Matt Ryan is timing, precision. That's what he do. He throw on time. He's accurate with the ball. I mean, he has some of the highest passer ratings in NFL history. So um, definitely not Matty Ice, but at the same time, we have to use Marcus Mariota and his strengths, how he played the game. So that's definitely um, how I think they should utilize Marcus. Actually, to be honest, I think Desmond Ritter probably is a better passer than Marcus Mariota, but utilizing Marcus the way we used him in Sunday's game is how we can open up this offense because his ability to run the ball and that read option it just put more stress on the defense to try to figure out what we're going to be doing. And if he make those timely throws like he was making in that first half on third downs and things like that, that's definitely going to help us out. And hopefully, the passing game can grow game after game. So that's what I want to see. Yeah, I agree, James. I thought, man, I could have betted. I could have bet a lot of money on that game last week that we was going to win that game. I mean, and for 3.5 quarters, guys, it looked like it. It really did, man. But I can tell you this: being in the stadium and watching the game, how it unfolded, and I just started to get that feeling that us Falcon fans get, that it's about to happen to us. And unfortunately, it did again. So um, we got to get that feeling out. The team got to get that feeling out. Everybody had to start getting that creep in your mind that we're gonna blow it. So I mean, we have to do that. What's going on, Dreddy? What's going on, man? So we have to get that out of our head. But I really thought, I started to feel it, man. After that first touchdown they scored in the fourth quarter and 2-point conversion, I was like, oh man, here we go. And I hate to feel that way, but I mean, guys, if you've been a Atlanta Falcon fans for a long time, you know what I'm talking about. So, oh, 100%. I agree with you, man. It's a new era, right? Like Matty gone, man. He's gone. Actually, let's just be honest. How many times you think Matt Ryan would have got sacked in Sunday's game? We took no sacks like yesterday. Sunday yesterday. We took no sacks on Sunday. How many times you think Matty would have got sacked? Guys, it's a different era. Different era. We got to go ahead and move on from Matty Ice. So that's what we got to do. Um, Second key to special teams, guys, is the field position. The field position game. I thought Pinion did a great job or kicking the ball, pinning those guys deep when we was not able to convert on third downs, pinning those guys deep. Special teams is always one of the field position game is always huge, especially if you get to one of those defensive games. You want to be able to play the field position game. So because you can always flip the field that way. If you get stopped at half field, midfield, and then you kick it, you pin them deep, go three and out. Guess what? You're gonna get the ball probably back at midfield. So, um, that's freaking. That's why you wanted that field position, and you have to play that game sometimes, right? All punts ain't bad punts, especially if you feel like your defense going to get the ball right back to you. So go ahead and live to play another down. Wallace said Matt Ryan would have got sacked 3 times. Probably right, man. I know. What's his name? Cam Jordan was hating the fact that every time he got back there, Max Mariota was gone. He was out the door, so he was not able to. And then the way he was, if you watch Marcus, the way he was reading that read option, he was waiting to Cameron Jordan crash, right? And then he was either pulling it out or handing it off based off what Cameron Jordan was doing. So they was using him, to kind of, like I said, that's what Marcus Mariota do, guys. I mean, just go back and look what he did at Oregon. And he mentioned today in his press conference, he loved the way they just let him play free. That's how he plays. Let him play like that. Let him go out and make plays. He have to stop making mistakes though, because if it becomes a trend, dropping ball, fumbling ball, dropping snaps, and things like that, um, everybody might start really calling for a guy like Desmond, because if that's causing us to lose these games, um, definitely. So mentally, he have to make sure, like I said, protect the football, um, and he definitely need to protect himself. But I love the way he playing free, and the reason why they was not able to sack us because of the mobility from our QB on Sunday. All right, guys. The last thing on special teams is a big play. And I'm not just mean in the return game, guys. I'm talking about block punts, block field goals, um, things like that, causing a fumble on a kickoff, on the punt return. And of course, if you can, get an explosive run back on either kickoff or a punt return as well, those are big plays. But special teams, like I said, special teams could definitely turn the game around. So you have to look at things like that. Go all the way back to when Desmond Howard ran back the kickoff in the Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers. Do any of you guys remember that? Um, like I said, now we did also had uh, what's the name run it back in the Super Bowl against the Colts with the Bears. It didn't help them win the game, but those big plays like that, special teams always could play a factor either way. Turnover, block field goal, like what happened to the Falcons on Sunday. So special teams is definitely something that we definitely need to pay attention to. And a big play on special teams can definitely be the reason you win the game. So we have to look at all those things. Um, Kickers, I mean, they have one job. It's an important job. We saw Rodrigo Blankenship just get cut from the Indianapolis Colts because he lost them that game. He missed field goals. Um, so special teams is very important. We saw it happen 2 years ago in Dallas when we couldn't recover our own side kick, and the next week the special team coach was fired. Right, so special team does play a big role. It have consequences. It seemed minute because when you think about it, it should be something that these guys do all the time. That's all they do, right? On special teams, they snap, they hold, they kick. You know, that's what they. But those things will lose a game, and coaches not going to tolerate that. So they will definitely go ahead and find somebody that can execute those plays like they want them to. Nathan Floyd said both teams lost last week. I expect it to be another hell. Yep, the Rams have O line issues, but they have talent offensively. Definitely going to be. I agree with you 100%. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game, and I can tell you this: the way that the Atlanta Falcons played against those nasty Aints, guy, because I see you still in the chat. Way they played against them, um, the Rams are not going to come in taking these guys lightly. They know they got to come play. So trust me, they're getting up ready to play against these Falcons this week, and if we can build on that, guys, that's the kind of reputation we want to get. Playing the Atlanta Falcons, um, you're gonna have to actually go in and battle it. It wasn't a defense. It was a defense. It wasn't the defense. I just gave you I just gave it to you, man. Your quarterback and the receiver you guys play. It was your quarterback and the receiver. They won the game. Like I said, good job. I don't know. I wish I could have seen it though. I don't know if he would have been able to make that 63-yard field goal. I can tell you this much. I was actually in the stands waiting to see if he was going to make it, and then they blocked it. So um, I don't know if he could have made it, man. That's a long kick. I mean, that's one of the longest. That would have been one of the longest kicks on record. I don't think it's the longest one, but it would have been one of the longest ones. It was in a dome, no wind. Just got to get your foot in. Of course, that far back, you got to get it up a little bit. Try to get a little bit more. It come out a little bit lower, right? Because it's so far back. But they got a good block on it, so we'll never know if he was going to be able to make that kick. But And what is what it is. Still got Saints fans in the chat. I can tell you this much: if you didn't win, you wouldn't be in the chat. I bet you that. So, guys, those are my keys to victory for the Atlanta Falcons this week. Quick recap on offense: continue to run the ball. Definitely get Pitts and Edwardson more involved in the passing game. Don't let Aaron Donald wreck the game. Continue to be multiple and balanced. We had 200 yards rushing, 200-yard passing, over 400 yards total offense. That's what you want to see. No turnovers, and make sure you score in the red zone on offensive side of the ball. Defensive side of the ball, stop the run. Don't let those guys get in the rhythm in the run game. Put pressure whatever way you can on Matthew Stafford. Try not to give up any big plays in the game against these Rams. If we can create turnovers, win a turnover battle, that's definitely want to do. And then that secondary continue to grow. Um, those young guys get better and better, so we can see the growth throughout the years. And then on special teams, cool, keep doing what you're doing. One of the best kickers in the league. Create that field position from the defensive side of the ball, and in the punting game, things like that. And then try to make a big play on special teams because we know maybe Cardell can get his record leading kickoff return for a touchdown. If he was to he'll break the record, right? So maybe that could be the big play we want to see this weekend. Cordell Patterson actually going out and actually getting that getting that touchdown to break the record. So if that was to happen, that'd be awesome, right? So maybe that's the big play we want to see. But those the keys, guys. I agree with what Nathan said. I think it's gonna be a good, hard physical game. Um, if anything, what I definitely want to see from the Atlanta Falcons this week is the same team we seen last week, right? I mean, I think the Rams probably is going to play better. I don't think we're going to get the same Rams that we seen from last week. I think they should play better. But if we get the same Atlanta Falcons that we seen, we definitely have a chance to go out and get an upset because nobody think we're supposed to win this game. So we can go to 500 on the record. Then we can see can we go to Seattle with that fan base and see can we actually get a game up there. But we have to take care of business this weekend. The game is going to be at 4:05 um, Eastern time in Los Angeles. So good, hard fought game. Come on, we got to make sure Aaron Donald don't destroy us. Um, don't take a step back. Like I said, if anything, show the same fight, motivation, the same growth that you had in the game one against the Aints, right? That was a rivalry game. We hate that team. We know that. But it don't matter. That game is over. We got to go out and show that same fight against these Los Angeles Rams. Improve on the things that we can improve on and get better. That's what we want to do. And then by game 8, hopefully we can start be hitting on all cylinders and trying to do something with this game. So that's what I want to see. Yes, 100%. I talked about that earlier, Nathan. Man, if we can get both of those bruisers in the backfield, Tyler Algier, um, Cordell Patterson back there, that's going to be awesome. Scott said NFC going to be tough. Yeah, I like this division. I think everybody thought that the NFC South was going to be one of the weak divisions this year. I don't see that. The way the Falcons playing, I think the Panthers played pretty tough against the Browns. They could have won that game as well. So I think it's going to be a pretty good division this year. I don't think it's going to just outright be given to the Bucks like everybody thinking. Well, Honestly, the Aints don't want it. A couple of years. I think the last 4 years, right? Won the division. So, um, it's time for those guys to take a back seat to everybody anyway. So, like I said, they want to know, but we'll have to see what happens. So, guys, that's all I have for today. Like I said, those are the keys to victory. Definitely, you can go in the chat after and give me your keys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you what you think these guys need to do. My players that I want to see this week, definitely that shows up in this game. Is we talked about it, Tyler Algier. We want to be able to see Kyle Pitts. Um, get more touches, be able to get more yards. Want to be able to see AJ Terrell bounce back, right? I don't really say bounce back because I don't really think he played that bad. I think that, like I said, it was just two spectacular catches by Michael Thomas and the throw by James Winston. But those are kind of things I want to see. We want to see us get more sacks, more sacks. If we can double up the sacks to 8 this week, guess what, guys? We'll be 10 sacks away from how many we had all season last year. So that's going to be impressive. Impressive. Sunday showed that no team is easy win, and they have to play to get the win. Yes, 100%. I, guys, to be honest with you, the NFL, the margin for victories like this in the NFL. If you go back and look at the games and see how many games was won and lost by 6 points or less. The margin of victory is small. All these guys can play. All these coaches can coach. It's the mistakes that you make, the plays that you make and you don't make. That's how I get at the end of the day how it happened. Yes, in some cases it's talent and it is coaching, but in a lot of cases it's execution, situational football, and the plays you make and you don't make. That's what it boils down to. So if the Falcons can learn that and be able to finish in the fourth quarter, um, I think that'll definitely be something that we can start saying that this is one of the best teams in the NFL. All right. So, guys, that's it. That's all I have. You guys have a good day. Let's go, Falcons. Rise up. And this is your boy Recondo. Come back at you with another video. Peace.